Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe is going to be this banging spaghetti meat sauce, and when I say banging, I really mean it. If you've been looking for a really good spaghetti sauce, look no further, your prayers have been answered. But before we get into this, if you do like this video or like any of my content, please consider hitting that subscribe button and also the like button. And also, if you do try this recipe, definitely leave me a comment down below to let me know how it goes. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this. Starting off on my plate here, I have half of a yellow bell pepper and also half of a red bell pepper. You can use any color of bell pepper you like, or don't add it at all if you don't like them. Also, I do have one medium yellow onion, as well as 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, which you can add more or less depending on your taste. I know not everybody likes too much garlic. And then I also have some fresh parsley, just a little handful. Of course, you can add more if you feel like you need more. I'm sorry guys, but I really don't measure much when I cook. I just kind of, throw things in there until the ancestors whisper in my ears that, hey, it's enough. But here I'm just showing you the kind of tomatoes I use. Of course, you can use fresh tomatoes, but I do really like this brand of tomato. This is the San Marzano peeled tomato with the basil. It's really good. The flavor is really unique, but definitely you can use fresh tomatoes. Alright, so finally onto the actual cooking part. Here I am going to add in about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use any cooking oil of your choice, and I'm just going to let that get hot for me. And you will see in a moment, once my oil is hot, that my heat was a bit too high. I will recommend that you start this off with medium-low heat, because once I dropped in my onions, I did realize that my heat was a bit too high because some of them started to brown really quickly. But just definitely add your onions, and then you're just gonna give that a little stir, and then afterwards you're just gonna leave this for a minute or two until the onions turn translucent. Alright, so boom, another moment of truth. Look, I'm keeping it really honest with you guys here because I really do want to show you that sometimes, cooking, it can get a little out of hand. As you can see, I did leave my onions to cook a little too long, but hey, no problem. We did go ahead and just add in the garlic. I'm telling you, it just adds in so much more flavor. But don't be like me and forget to check the pot. Do not leave this and go start watching TV or something like that. Please keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. But after I added in the garlic, I let that cook for about a minute or two. And then now I'm gonna add in my ground beef. I used half of a pound of ground beef. And as you will see, I will also add in half of a pound of Italian sausage. You do not have to add it. I just like the flavor that it provides. You can also add like different types of ground meat. You don't have to use beef. You can use like ground chicken, ground turkey, whatever floats your boat, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and break that up. And you will see me switch utensils because I have no idea why I was using a spoon. But yeah, just go ahead and break up your meat and then we'll move on. Alright, so here you see me adding in the remainder of the ground beef because I did feel like the meat wasn't enough in there, so I just added a little more. So in total, I added in 1 pound of ground beef and half of a pound of Italian sausage. But again, you do not have to combine anything. You can use all ground beef, you can use all sausage, all pork. It's really up to you. But once again, I'm just gonna break that up and make sure everything is nicely combined, and we'll go from there. Alright, so after I'm done combining everything and breaking everything up, I'm just going to leave this to cook until the meat is about halfway done. Now at this point, my meat has been cooking for about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasonings now. I'm gonna start off with some salt. I added maybe like half a tablespoon, maybe a little less than that. With seasonings, I always like to start off little by little. Here I'm adding in some paprika. I'll try to leave the measurements I used down below, but as I was saying, with seasonings, I would prefer that you start off little by little, just because it's easier to add little by little and add more as you go than to add so much seasoning and then it's overpowering and you can't take it back. So what you saw is I added in some paprika, I crushed in some black pepper. Here I'm going to add some cayenne pepper. You can definitely skip this if you do not want spice. But in my opinion, cayenne pepper is not that spicy. Or in my opinion, it's really not spicy at all. Honestly, I kind of just put that in there just for garnish, if that makes sense. But hey, that's just my opinion. If it's spicy to you, do not add it. Here I'm showing you the seasoning cubes I used. These are called Maggi cubes or bouillon cubes. You can also use the bouillon powder itself, which is pretty much just already crushed for you. But I just went ahead and squeezed in 2 of these in there. Then I'm going to give this a very good stir because I want to make sure that all the seasonings are well incorporated into the ground beef. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give that a good stir. Okay, so next you're gonna see me add in a little more salt. I did go ahead and taste it and I felt like it needed a little more, you know, a little more razzle dazzle. So I added in some more salt and 1 more cube. Definitely taste your food as you go. You do not want too much and you do not want so little. So definitely taste as you go. If it's okay with you at that point, definitely leave it alone. Don't do it just because you saw me do it. Because a lot of people comment about that, but like I always say, please season it to your taste because everybody's taste buds is different. Everybody's sensitivity to seasoning is different. So definitely taste as you go and adjust as you need to, please. So after that, I'm going to add in my bell peppers now, and then I will add in my parsley, and then we're going to give this another good stir. Now I'm gonna add in my tomatoes. I did take a knife and just like casually, if that's the word to describe it, I just took a knife and I just placed it in the can and I just kind of moved it around to kind of cut up the tomatoes a little bit because they were whole. I don't mind my spaghetti sauce being chunky. I feel like spaghetti sauce is better when it's chunky anyway. But if you want more of a smooth sauce, definitely throw it in a blender for a couple seconds and then pour it in. Or if you're using fresh tomatoes, you don't have to worry about that. But what you're seeing me do here is I just picked out that basil leaf that's in there and I just went ahead and cut it up into smaller pieces because I didn't want just a whole basil leaf just sitting in the middle of the pot. But that's just what I'm gonna do. I added in the other can and I'm just gonna continue doing that. And I'm also going to do the same thing for the chunkier pieces of tomato that the knife did not get while like slicing it in the can. I should have recorded that to show you what I'm talking about. I know it sounds weird, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these up just a little bit so the chunks are a bit smaller. But like I said, you can always just put this in the blender to smooth it up before putting it in the pot. Alright, and here's where the magic happens. You just stir it and then you leave it alone to cook and just to let it do its thing. I let this cook on medium heat for about 30 minutes or until the tomato Like that sour tomato taste was gone, and then all that was left was the beautiful, sweet taste of spaghetti sauce. And you'll see what I'm talking about once you try it. If you definitely do try this recipe, please leave me a comment. I want to know how it goes, because I want to know if I'm the only one that was obsessed with this, or if it went horrible for you. Definitely let me know that too. I would like to know, how it goes for everybody. But yeah, like I said, just stir it, cover it, and let it do its thing. That's it. Look at this beauty. And that's another thing, how you know the sauce is done. When you see the oil kind of sit at the top, that lets you know that the tomatoes and everything is done. But this was about 30 minutes. I'd say 35-40 minutes, because I did let it cook a little longer into cooking. I let it cook for that long, and that's it. We're done. This was amazing, and I'm not just saying it because I made it. I want you to try it and let me know. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like my channel, like I said, please hit that subscribe button and join the family. And if you didn't, well, I'm sorry. Leave me a comment, I guess. Do leave me a comment if you do have any suggestions, or if you do try this recipe, let me know how it goes. Also hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.